What a wonderful fucked up day. It's sprinkled with so much weird nuance. The first day in July, an independence beginning of celebrating itself. Seems a little off, but it should because it is. It's before the 4th and all kinds of the same fireworks already here. Bigger than big. Type of shit, yes. All kinds of new factors that imbue each thing with an information level that I actually need and I'm looking for. Sort of crafting out of the chaos. One of those weird skills one can have or not have that you use if you need to. And I do. I needed to. What did it do? It got all in my business, all the little areas that I have life and shit going on. Mostly outside, which is where I'm the greatest funded with a feeling of nature's type. Let's just cut the bullshit. Everything from that area seems greater, more profound if it's contextually rivaling the inside shit, where all your devices and shit, you're not gonna win. You shouldn't. Music only got me a par because I had to do repair and play guitar. That translates that into some form of sanity that is better said to be necessity. Well, okay. So translation on the current events is a difficult fucking trick, and it's highly accepting passengers at this time. Words, you need new ones, all of them. There's a sense of need that's like a black hole. The cat is affirming it with many words, which is kind of weird and different, peculiar. The cat would respond, this one. Do you think this is so? Kitty cat recently vanishes in the tomcat time period to get pussy abroad. I think I'm in a little bit of not as confused or mystery on where that is. That mysterious place the cat goes to get pussy. Wishes that I do not ask such questions with a hiss, because I did. And I did get the hiss. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Did I ask you about your special stash? Put a risk factor on could it be found out? He didn't want to share. Cat's got a lot of different things that are automatically the different way and in the cat way. Personally enriched by any of the ways cats can simply show I'm scratched the fuck in my head. You see? That's the truth. I got some for me. They ain't giving it up without fucking me up. It could be some homoerotic shit too. Let's be clear. It doesn't mean a lady cat did that to him. It could be one of the bros guarding hoes. In his activity of life, it seems to be a sure success to go off and return. It seems like he probably got something. But what about that? So what? That is a point of contention and honesty from guy who not get shit. Puts the pressure in my direction I didn't expect. You think you know a thing until your gauge don't work. Your gauge is based on your certain feelings. You know, feelings are got to be one of the most goddamn technical, alive features that when they're fucking on, they can be fucking on. But when they're not, you better fucking know it and don't bullshit, because that's dangerous doing that. The reasons to do it are dumb, usually egoic, and the better you get at incorporating that intuitive knowing, the dangerouser it could be for you. Like everything this tree broken says to me, that something like that has gotten involved. There was another factor more than meets the eye happening here. So there's been a real other feature everywhere involved. This is an easy example. I can look up there and look at the way the break is, and I just don't, I'm not buying you what I'm seeing. I feel, and I need not explain why, it's a mysteriously suspect sensation. That, like, you look up and you're looking for some saw cuts. Maybe you see them, but you're not too sure. I'd have to get up there to tell, and that's not smart to be fucking around. That's not even in the necessity to damage me if it is the case. Why? Why is that suddenly not useful information? I was in the middle of the river and hearing trees crashing. And not when the wind was blowing. It was as if fucking some form of Sasquatch was in town. He was fucking making noise, telling you how he felt. This looks like that too. Maybe I'm friendly with Sasquatch. I just didn't know it. What are you, stupid, sir? What is the alternative to this? I can fucking scuttle off and get away from a tornadic style winds, just picking up where all the fucking bullshit ass emotional retards failed. Well, that's true-ish. How many people saw the wind going a little too hard and wondered why the next area of elementals didn't fucking do some shit? Because you would see some shit. You got to give those water signs a little more credit for having to suffer or having an experience that's not as easy to overcome than we all think. I'm a fire person, so I got to look at my fire level as my most deadly impulse and where I'm at from the jump on everything is kind of that. I can see it. Very deadly to almost all my friends. Water would be the only exception. Rarely. I'm usually putting its ass out. No, it's putting me out. So that's the only person I have to worry about murdering with my own true nature. They should have enough of their own nature to sustain the embrace or excess that I have, which in other people's experience would be deadly. Too much mindy chatter, too much feverish pursuit, all that I got. You're one of them guys that likes your drugs too, all his special case even. Doing psychonaut fucking level transformations ill-advised, alone. Yeah, I'm guilty. Yeah, you got it. You got to tell, you're touched. What does that do to you? It makes you specifically aware of very certain things that are needed to change, open to it, whatever the language may change to initiate activities. That's the awareness you got to have. It does require you to listen into your own self. That's not a fucking gift everybody even has, and less people even understand if you say it. That's in my style. That's very unhelpful. Well, let's look at the level of unhelpful or background participation that I get to have my back. So I am the equal participant in enough activities to warrant money that has not got me any money. My current situation with job that is not developing, it has a lack of the one fucking thing that even in my own personal mind space, I had resolved to say, well, if this thing is coming when it arrives, I can go from there. It's something I can see and use that pointing at it with showing it done and easy to see. That will be a place of launching areas of goings that I needed to be able to do. And I didn't get to do. And I'm not even there yet. And then more expanded shit. Well, this is not looking very good. Don't be as discouraged as any old motherfucker. I'm telling the story and I'm sharing the victory for him that I'm going along with as real time as I can, which is unheard of. It's actually sort of a new thing. They tell you when people tell you who they are, or when people tell you that they wish you dead, take that serious. Let that be something that you can get from them and allow it. Like, let them tell you who they are. I think that is a very broadly applied truth that occurs a lot more in our experiences. We should pay attention to stuff like that. It's not very often we get a broad sort of sense thing in an occurring feature that we can all agree on. That's quite rare. This is sort of a alternative to that because it's something I can say I believe everybody can sort of see. Because, you know, I like dealing in conceptual and non-physical realm shit, which means I gotta have a gift set that's a little more woo than normies know what to do. Well, I'm still subject to the same desire, whims, obligations, etc. But with one thing that actually let off the steam pressure on me that I got to give it back to nature, qualified me for, and I now have this to look for with even a featured growth. It's been birds that have their nests. None of my videos made it. I haven't made one that I could look at and have. There's no editor on here. There's all kinds of different sets of apps. Today I'm actually supposed to pay the bill, which seems way too early. And looking at that, if I pick looking at it not being actually even the amount of time, a month before I have a bill, and I'm not freaking out, I'm changing the terms, and I find them not really correct because I didn't opt in for none of this crazy bullshit excess. I can see where some intrepid motherfucker, like whoever the fuck is in charge of emails, could lose their mind and have that many different emails, and I not being about that, but willing to see what the fuck it is they're doing, which yet I've not done. Because the most dangerous form of whatever's going on here is the fact that if you want to look at something simple, here's a good way. Should we change that password that's on the fucking device? Yeah, immediately me saying yes, we should. Good idea, not good. It's actually the dismissal of that being a problem and all the reasons that came from roommate who was happy to use it and has not had to look back at all. It was not even a fucking problem because the point of having it was the fact I wanted it for our house. Which brings us into the area we are in. The greater effort that is just gifted. Now this feature or work or whatever it does to you to do it, I'm getting a lot of benefit from. I don't pretend to have anything else going on. I think it's more healing if you don't have a need to interact more probably than you would want to even say. I think a lot of people that have to actually tell themselves go out and put their bare feet in the grass and physically say that and then go and do it to get some fucking change. I think that is in my corner in my analysis here. So I'm in a good place. You're right. You are in a good place. But the only thing chilling me out didn't produce any uh the money goals. No, it did not. Some of the things where I was expecting or believing there would be some activity, it was the lack thereof that got me thinking. You know me, I like thinking. I don't like sharing thoughts when they get picked apart in their infancy. I don't really like that at all. I like throwing suggestions if I've got them to throw in directions. I think they're always pretty useful. If they're coming at me and I don't have them coming out of my mind, I don't have any misunderstanding about that as a gift. I have encountered a form of rigid thinking, and I don't wish to attack any form of thinking, especially one that gets it done. I want to be in not a conflict and able to produce what would come up, which for me is all kinds of shit. Ideas, the first main. Now, these are not just willy nilly fucking uh, like other ways of taking it. If you genuinely produce from you, it's gonna tie into your sense body. Like, I want this to flow, motherfucker. I'm protecting this like it's a source of my fucking life coming out of me, because everything I've noticed in life would point that to be true. The key force of life is the life. Yes, there's no way to articulate it any differently or better. I need to not be in that thing's way. The flow from within myself. Yes, because I am in alignment with it, but its alignment is with the unity of not just me, it's the how am I in reaction to the bigger picture, which here is where the yard and all these wonderful things of nature are concerned. Because I factor them in. I'm not sure how they participate. I don't think they're doing fucking secret midnight work that I'm looking for some physical fucking opportunity to pop up, all like mystical and shit. I just say that it's correlative. It's about as fucking clear as there can be, because you know and you learn more about life and all this wonderful shit around us, whereas we misunderstand a lot greater amounts of shit. And we finally craft a beam of, we really cut out in some other way a section of that we just really got right. That's part of just how life happens, how you respond to it, and however your burden of work requires it. That's a pretty easy way to say something. Pretty not very easy, very complex shit. Summed up pretty good. It lets me be fluid though. I count on it. When I get resistance to that, then I trust it and I don't want it arising with any resistance. I have to take a closer look, because things that are not resisted from unawareness, when they have a little extra, something extra, I really have not achieved a very prime goal I don't even have to normally consider, because I've lost any awareness of who I am, where I go, and have to consider, what is this motherfucker even thinking type shit. It's true. And like, you get a real stubborn left brain person, they can throw you for a loop. You'll offer to do something, they'll just not answer you. They'll overreact to not engage the thing that you have in such a way that's pretty fucking, it's not a win for you. I mean, what is the point in doing that? There is no level of chaos in the governing of my thinking body that would warrant the level of shit like that. I've experienced it a couple times before. It's an extreme reaction to, on one thing there is true. It's, you're not going to get from the reality such a cookie cutter style of method that you should shut yourself from the right brain thinker accommodating left brain in the ways that I've experienced it. Because there's aggression. It's like, if you let me do it and you give me the thing I asked for, I can do it. If you fucking give me something else and then I have to ask you for it, then you eyeball fuck me, it's gonna piss me off and make me disturbed. If this is the way we're going, we don't have fundamental trust where we live, and it's worse than you could hope for. And on your own efforts, you're the boss, this is your job. What would cause you to do this in this style would be a breach of fucking some other thing completely. There's no place to even go that direction at all. There's nothing to learn there. The one thing I know that is being resisted is just this place I get my answers that is not from a cookie cutter methodology. There's a real resistance to taking any of it like it's infected with thinkings that I think would be apparently tainted by some lack of uniformity. And that's true. There is a lack of that drives the person mad. It's like when you cut wood, you can have on one end a factory cut, and you can deliberately make it a certain way. You can really make it and do it, and that cut edge could be bold in your face, and that will slap the professional so strongly to be a mistake, and it's still not a thing you could just readily see. It's this religion that has found itself a home within these details, and it's breach with awareness that it can give the person issuing it to the commands. They'll tell you the backwards way to get there. You'll have to go the same way they just said, and each time it was the opposite way. We literally went through this. It was not important to even get it so much effort. You know what I mean? It's a real balloon point for the unbeliever to be in command. And the step up to your own command is already came from the universe regarding me. It's a more broad, focused effort to get this accomplished. It doesn't occur. It definitely doesn't have a necessity to push the person around that's job it is. That's never going to be appropriate. A lot of moves are just not appropriate. And then, like, when the opportunity came to be discerning, it's like, hey, there's no reason to stand back and let you do more work. It would be a greater, too much of work you could be doing. You get the fuck out of the way. I was sawing many days at second nature where you don't even have it like that. Let me reawaken and take into consideration the efforts of time, things of that nature. But I'm being worked against in every little area, and there's no desire, there's no need. There is one will to be occurring. It's the show. It's always a display for some non-entity in every effect. And I put that on the evilness. I made a video, and I'm not sure if I wasn't able to share it, but it's something that occurs within the gang stalking sensation. It occurs at some point in your life. This is my conclusion on it, and I want this to be the focus of the video, and I'm leaving it as a cherry on the top. The epiphany I didn't get to share before has run its place multiple times in this occurrence. Because here's what occurs. In your experience, you're left feeling that there, in every fucking place, there's this touch of this other thing. It seems like it's been there the whole time. It doesn't make sense for any other way that it could be like this, what you're experiencing, because it truly is everywhere. I have a memory and know this occurs at a certain time in your experience, and it's a great time of trouble because you're having to come from you this great effort, and with it, you toss all this shit the fuck up and out and away from your person, and it's a dedicated event, and then it's a fucking a speaking to life by tossing away, far flinging even, although it goes just into every other thing. You are not. It mirrors that back perfectly to not appear to be the previous battle and whole stage that it was a fight for genuine life. That does set you at odds. It's not the full program that it appears to be in any way. It's the luring lap deception that which under that spell you can forget many of the details, but this is just the greater like structure where there's a time to decide if I need to live or die. And when you do, the determining factor causes with you this tossing out of all things at the time worthy of being not within the kingdom of heaven. And there's a realization that is now recycled back that this in fact is not what it appears to be, but what it has become by such a deep adversity and didn't go fucking nowhere but every other place. This is a way that in a greater sense the gift has been given to have a footing hold, a net to gather from all these areas that needed to be expelled to live, now are all placed in a way to be able to draw power and do something completely different as that of being of alive and awakened into their deity with real fucking fire under your ass when that sense arises within of killing you. It's very distinct. It's part of the experience. You can play into it and very much fail and end up dead. This is where we are. These are some basic boiled down truths that never really go away. It gets elaborate. There's very little extra change that can occur within everyone's elapsed